This is a daughter podcast where dads come to talk, think, and thrive with your hosts, Oscar and Blandon. Our mission is to cultivate a community of strong, mindful, and present fathers.
We want to curate honest conversations with all men, but especially those who have the honor of raising daughters.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daughter Podcast. I am Oscar with Blandon over on the other side. What's up, man? How's it going?
Man, how is it going, man? I see you are still not on your regular side. It's sad.
Here. Yep.
Sad.
It's just running time. It's crazy, but we're getting closer. So
You're getting closer. So yeah. But I am back on my regular side. So
you are. So
yeah.
we're thankful for that.
We are thankful for that.
And I will hopefully be driving out on Wednesday afternoon to go see the girls and spend Thanksgiving at home with them. So I'll be thankful for that.
Yes.
Very,
we will
very
all be
much.
thankful for that. Yes. Yes.
And then I'll drive back and then keep doing this thing until it's done.
Yes, we will.
But I am grateful for the time. And that's something that we want to talk about today in the spirit of Thanksgiving week. Your girls are now, I think, officially on Thanksgiving break, as are mine. And I think it's important for us to talk about gratitude or maybe the lack thereof, but practices that get us to a more grateful person.
Yeah, I think it's important to take the time out to say all the big and little blessings that we do have that we need to really align ourselves and gain perspective in, to say we have a lot. Even if you find yourself in a situation of lack, so much of the world has so much less than we do here. And that is what I want to nurture in my girls, to say, I want you to be grateful and content for all the things you have, all the opportunities you have. You do extracurricular activities, you go to school, you have the ability to learn about all of these different subjects. We have a roof over our head, we have food in our bellies, we have clothes on our backs.
Right.
And so we have all the things we need and a lot of the things that we want. But it's just my personal practice. Just thank God every single day because, obviously for me, that's what gratitude is. I think for other people, it may be different, but for me, it is thanking God for all the good things that he's given me. And that's the only response that I can have. And it's the response that I want my girls to have, because I couldn't do any of this alone. I'm grateful for the podcast. I'm grateful for my marriage. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my family and friends. And I don't take any of that lightly. And I don't want them to either.
Yeah, I think it's important to notice that it's easy to be thankful for the bigger things. Like it's easy to be thankful for when you get a promotion or when things happen for you, right? But then we forget about the little things that really make those big things happen. And that's something that we at home have been trying to get the girls think of more. Like there's times where we'll just be outside and I'll tell one of my daughters, so just take a breath.
Yeah.
Like feel that for a second.
Yeah.
Right. Be thankful for that breath. Like be thankful for the things that we have. One of the ones I always remind them in the winter. Now we live in Louisiana now, so it's not that cold. But before we're in Washington, it would be bitterly cold. Like I think there were several times we were in negative 30s, 20s, whatever. It's cold, right?
Yeah.
And we'd be downtown or something, and they see someone living outside, and I'm like, just think about how cold you are right now, and you have coats, and we have a warm car that we're driving in, or what have you. Think about that, and think about not having a way to keep warm.
Yeah.
Right? And so the little things we try to focus on. So for us, one thing we've done is to do thankfuls at night. That's just kind of a thing. Like we do thankfuls, and then we do prayer, right?
Yeah.
And so each one of us will go through what we're thankful for the day.
Yeah.
And every so often I have to stop the girls because they just kind of get repetitive. Like they feel like it's just the thing I'm supposed to say, right? But I'm like, no. What today are you thankful for? Today. Like what, and they'll be thinking, well, I woke up today. I'm like, that's a good thing. You should be thankful for that, right? And then we go through the line, 4 or 5 thankfuls that they can truly be grateful for, and then we move on. Next person. Mom goes, I go, and then we we close with prayer. Um, but it's been kind of nice to do that because it makes all of us just think about our day
Right.
and this and the smallest spectrum of the day. Just let's think about what today was and be thankful because there's frustrations through the day. There's
Mhm.
there's failures, there's successes, there's different things, but just focusing on those things that we're grateful for has been kind of cool for us to just that's just what we do at night.
Right. So what are some of your Thanksgiving traditions that you guys have? I know you've moved around just a little bit. You've
That's a little
moved
bit.
around, and so sometimes at Thanksgiving you're not necessarily around your extended family. You
Yeah.
have your immediate family. So what do you guys do on Thanksgiving? Is it football and turkey? Is it what's going on?
Yeah. Uh my wife likes the traditional Thanksgiving dinner, right? So
Yeah.
she'll even if I think for this Thanksgiving where it's just us and she'll still make all the food. She wants it
Right.
all made and there's just a
Yeah.
ton left over. We'll take sometimes we'll take some to the base and like give them to the folks up at the gates,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
there's a lot of food. But yeah, she wants us to cook a turkey and she'll make some stuffing and I've thrown a little beef in there, because that's what I like, and so
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
make a
Yep.
some type of roast with us. And you mentioned extended family, like yes, we're military, so we move around. But one of the awesome things of the military, and I think you and I kind of had this when we were in our first base, is that you kind of get some of these folks become almost more family than family because that's
Right.
who you are,
Right.
who you're with,
Right. Right.
who you go through these things with. So every so often, I think most of our friends are kind of going their way for Thanksgiving, but normally we'll have we just have like a Thanksgiving full of military family that we have
Yeah.
at whatever base we're at. So that's been kind of cool because the girls get a lot of different perspectives there. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what we do. I, I have not watched a single football game this year, and I think we'll probably just have it on in the background, like it's just a
Right.
thing we do.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's I'm just looking forward to the relax time, the time to really think about what I'm thankful for, and then be around those that I'm thankful for.
Yeah, no, I remember a distant Thanksgiving that we spent together. It was the first Thanksgiving at the base. So I didn't go home. You guys didn't go home. You guys went home for Christmas that year. We all stayed. You invited me and another friend and some neighbors over for Thanksgiving, and it was really great. So I was really thankful for you and your wife for extending that to a single airman at that point. So I just want
Yeah,
to say thank you again for that. Nah, it was really great. The food was good.
yeah,
We talked a lot of smack to each other. But we had a good time. And then we did say what we each were thankful for that day. So I thought that was really cool.
yeah,
We had no kids at that point, but I think we were just thankful for each other,
yeah,
that we were getting to know each other, that we could spend time with one another. We didn't get on each other's nerves, some stuff like that. But
yeah,
because a lot of times you're in a military environment where you may not work out with people, right? Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
personalities don't jive, and so you're kind of like powering through. But I think at that point we had kind of carved out a little military family, like you say, for ourselves.
mhm,
And so it was a very memorable Thanksgiving for me. So again,
right,
I appreciate you guys. For us, last year we had a new tradition where we went away. So
okay,
just the immediate family, just my wife and the girls, we went away. We went to this little beach town in Texas called Rockport. We rented a house. The house had like a big backyard with a playground, and I barbecued, and we sat around the table and we said what we were thankful for. We each said what we were thankful for, and we prayed, and we thanked God for all the good gifts that we had. A lot of times you're kind of house hopping on Thanksgiving, so you're trying to spread out your time.
mhm,
So if there's one thing that I would tell dads is to plan a family trip on Thanksgiving just once. because we needed it. I knew that we needed it that year. We needed to just spend some time together. I had been working this crazy night schedule before I got my new job now. And yeah, I just needed time to reconnect with my wife. I needed time to reconnect with the girls. And it was fun. The drive was fun. Getting down there was fun. It was very cold going to the beach, but we still enjoyed it. And it was just that time together that we could spend. And the girls still talk about it. They still talk about my barbecue that day. They still talk about the house and the trip and spending time. And they're like, Daddy, when are we going to go on another trip like that? And
Mhm.
I'm like, we got a plan for it. But
Right.
it was necessary that year. It really was.
Yeah. Now, when your girls talk about gratitude, what do you tell them that gratitude is? Like, what is gratitude to them?
Yeah. So I think acknowledging all the things that they have, big and small. Um, their school had a gratitude classroom celebration, and so they kind of all came together. The parents and the students, they brought things, they all contributed, right? So understanding your contribution to gratitude. Don't just complain for the things you don't have, but understand what you can give and what you
Mm.
can offer to other people. I think that is a part of gratitude. But again, the bigger part of gratitude is understanding that God has given you all the things necessary that you have. Like, and to be grateful for that, because some people don't have that. That's not a right. It's a privilege. And don't complain about it. Be content in what you have. And that's constantly what I'm telling the girls. Like, I'm not telling them not to strive for better, but I'm saying right now with what you have, you should be content and you should be
Right.
grateful, you know,
Right.
like not complaining that you, like we talked about in a couple of episodes ago, well, few episodes back, about, not getting that dessert or not getting that new toy or this,
Right.
that, and the other. You have plenty of toys. You have an abundance of blessings,
Yeah.
right? So don't overlook those blessings for the shiny new thing that you don't have.
Right.
I try to teach them not to do all the compare and contrast with, oh, I saw this person have this and I want that and I want this. And it's like, well, why do you really want it? You know? And, there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with having things. And one part of that responsibility is thanksgiving. It's like being thankful for that
Right.
thing that you
Yeah.
that you possess and that you have and that you are managing. Have you managed this well? Maybe that's why you don't have the new shiny thing that's coming around the
Right.
corner, because you haven't managed the little bit that you have well in order to get that bigger thing.
Right.
So, and maybe you're not ready for that thing yet. Maybe you need to mature into that bigger quote unquote blessing, right?
Yeah.
So,
When I think you mentioned something that is important is that you have to be purposeful
yes.
in being thankful and grateful, and that's a practice. That's something that we have to practice. We mentioned a minute ago. Like, it's so much easier to focus on the things that are going wrong or on the
Right.
things that have gone wrong. It's so much easier to do that. Um, Real perfect example is whenever you go look at reviews for restaurants,
Right.
right?
Right.
Most of the time, that review is negative
Yeah.
because most of the time, the people that had a great time at the restaurant didn't bother to go in there. I included, by the way,
Yeah.
just saying, they didn't bother to go in there and put a review, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very far few in between when you see a good review. Like most of the
Yeah.
time, it's someone complaining about something because those are easy. And so that for us, that's big with the girls is reminding them that although it's easy to focus on the negative, it's harder to focus on the positive. But if you
Mhm.
focus on the positive, there is a lot of benefit to that.
Yes.
Right? We know
Yes.
the mind is a powerful tool, and being grateful and having gratitude in your heart really not only helps your day, but can carry you through life in some rough times. Right.
Absolutely.
Um, I was doing some research when we were talking about this, and uh, it's said that having a gratitude um, practice, purposeful gratitude practice, can
Yeah.
improve physical health, build stronger relationships, make you better at dealing with adversity,
Mhm.
can actually make your immune system more robust,
Oh.
can help with aches and pains, lower your blood pressure, and then have a deeper and more restoring sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you just step back and you see those, you can see that what you were telling yourself or what you're being thankful for ultimately will give you feedback on what's going on.
Mm,
And when it
mm,
talks about immune system, there's now very clear studies that show the whole placebo effect,
mm-hmm.
right? Like when your mind thinks you're getting better, you will begin to get better.
Mm,
When you're thankful for the little things, you will feel more gratitude always, right? And so
mm-hmm.
that's a practice that we have to do. And that's something that I try to at night, if I have to deal with the girls, I try to write down those things that I'm thankful for so that I can read them to myself, especially in those times where I'm struggling a little bit. Like I can go
Right.
back and
Right.
like, oh yeah, I am actually thankful for that. Or yep, I'm thankful for that. Or on that day, this was good, and this day, it's not, but I should still be thankful for this. And then bottom line, you mentioned other countries. Like I've had the privilege of traveling, and man, like we have first world problems, right? And
Right.
to really to really complain, and I mean everybody has those bad days, man. But to sit down and really think through, people in war torn places,
Yeah.
um, they don't have what we have,
They
and yet
don't.
some of those people are some of the most grateful people I ever met.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to take something from that. Like how do you have so much gratitude in your heart when you know the world around you is burdened? Like
Right.
how do you
Right.
do that? And that's something that gives me kind of a gut check. Like
Yeah.
what am I complaining about? Right? We got like you said, we have a roof over our head, we have warmth in our home, we have food on our table. What are we complaining about?
Right. And it starts with us. It starts with how we model it, how, me and my wife model it, how you and your wife model gratitude in your household, because then our girls are going to follow that, right? If
Absolutely.
they see us out in the world and we are thankful and grateful, and again, if we show these attitudes of like, and I tell the girls all the time, tell your mommy thank you for the things that she does. She's not a maid. She doesn't have to do
Right.
them.
Right.
My wife also emphasizes that. She's like, tell your daddy thank you for doing this. And they do it, and I think they really are thankful. I think it's not just repetition and they're not parroting, a thank you, because I can now see it in their faces. I can see it in their eyes
Mhm.
that they are truly becoming thankful for all the things that we do for them, big or small,
Right.
just here, my youngest was not feeling well and she was like, "Daddy, can you please give me a drink of water?" And I went to go get her a drink of water. And she looked at me and, just kind of, I know she was a little fatigued, but she just kind of looked at me and like tilted her head. And when I gave her the water, she was like, "Thank you, Daddy. Thank you. I'm so thankful for
Mm.
you." And I'm like, I really believe that. I don't think that was, performance based. I don't think that was just a behavior. I think that is now us instilling a heart and attitude of gratitude for just the little thing, like a drink of water when you're not feeling well,
Right.
So
Yeah.
it starts with us.
It absolutely starts with us, and that's where we have to be very mindful of
Mhm.
how we come across to that, and then be very intentional about our gratitude to our wife, to our daughters, right? Like there's times
Right.
where we think we forget that our kids also are to be thanked,
Yes.
right? For many, many
Yes.
things. And that
Yes.
and I don't know that we think about those things. So
Hmm.
absolutely starts with us.
Yeah.
For everyone out there, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, not
Happy
Merry Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Is it a happy
Oh,
Thanksgiving?
but it's coming. But Merry Christmas is coming.
Well,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, we want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Yeah.
That's right. You all have a great Thanksgiving. Once again, Bland and I are always thankful for your guys' support, for your ears, your eyes, your thought processes going through this with us. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about, remember you can send those over to conversations@daughterpodcast.com. Also find us at daughterpodcast.com, and you'll have all the social media on there and any other way to get in touch with us. Until then, Blandon over on your side, me here, wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. Have a good one.